Hey guys, today I'll be presenting a review of the 2025 psychological thriller film, The Housemaid. The movie stars Sydney Sweeney and Amanda Seyfried, along with Brendan Sklenar and Michelle Moran. The Housemaid is a suspense-driven film that focuses on power, control, and hidden identities within a wealthy household. What makes this movie stand out is how it uses a familiar setting, a beautiful home, to tell a much darker and unsettling story. The film has drawn attention because it adapts a best-selling novel and brings together a strong cast known for dramatic and emotional performances. The film The Housemaid is based on the best-selling psychological thriller novel The Housemaid by Freda McFadden. The book gained popularity for its fast-paced writing, unreliable characters, and shocking twists. Readers were drawn to the way the story constantly changes the audience's assumptions. The movie adaptation keeps the core premise of the novel while adjusting certain details to fit a cinematic format. Fans of the book were especially excited to see how the intense internal tension of the story would be translated visually on the screen. The movie is directed by Paul Feig, a filmmaker known for working across both comedy and thriller genres. Some of his most well-known films include Bridesmaids, The Heat, Spy, Ghostbusters, Last Christmas, which you can see here, and the mystery thriller A Simple Favor, which is also there. His experience with A Simple Favor in particular makes him a strong choice for Housemaid, since both films focus on secrets, deception, and dramatic reveals. In The Housemaid, Fake shifts towards a darker tone, using suspense and atmosphere rather than humor to drive the story. Um, Sydney plays Millie, the housemaid. Millie is a character who appears quiet, observant, and grateful for the opportunity she's been given, but she clearly has a complicated past. Her role requires emotional depth and subtle, as much of her character's tension comes from what she doesn't say. Amanda plays Nina, the wealthy woman who hires Millie. Nina appears elegant and confident on the surface, but her behavior becomes increasingly unpredictable. Seyfried's character adds psychological tension and keeps the audience questioning her true intentions. Brendan plays Andrew, Nina's husband. His character appears charming and composed, but there is an underlying sense that he's not everything as it seems. Michelle plays Enzo, a worker on the Winchester property. Enzo's character adds another layer of mystery to the story and becomes an important presence within the household. The film follows Millie, a young woman who accepts a job as a live-in housemaid for the wealthy Winchester family. At first, the job seems like a fresh start, offering stability and opportunity. However, as Millie settles into the house, the environment begins to feel increasingly tense and uncomfortable. Small interactions raise big questions, and the audience slowly realizes that everyone in the house is hiding something and they are tense. The movie builds suspense gradually, keeping viewers engaged without revealing its biggest twists. The Housemaid was filmed primarily in real residential locations to create a sense of realism. Most of the story takes place inside the Winchester house, which becomes almost a character itself. The large rooms, narrow hallways, and isolated setting help intensify the suspense and make the audience feel trapped along with the characters. The filmmakers intentionally focused on indoor locations to create a claustrophobic and uneasy atmosphere, reinforcing the psychological tension throughout the film. Behind the scenes, the cast spent time developing the relationships between their characters to make the tension feel authentic. Director Paul Feig focused heavily on lighting, camera angles, and silence rather than action to build suspense. Many scenes were shot in tight or enclosed spaces to increase discomfort and emotional intensity. Another interesting fact is that the movie relies on performance and atmosphere than special effects, which helps keep the story grounded and realistic. One of the biggest strengths of The Housemates is its acting. Sydney and Amanda deliver strong, believable performances that carry the tension of the film. Their characters feel layered and unpredictable, which keeps the audience engaged. The movie also does a good job building suspense slowly instead of relying on sudden scares. The setting, lightning, and music all work together to create a tense and uneasy atmosphere. However, the film does have some weaknesses. At times, the pacing may feel slow for viewers who prefer fast-moving thrillers. Some scenes focus heavily on mood rather than action, which may not appeal to everyone. In addition, because the story is very character driven, viewers looking for clear heroes and villains might find the moral ambiguity confusing. Despite these issues, the strengths of the film generally outweigh the weaknesses. Overall, The Housemaid is an effective psychological thriller that focuses more on tension and character development than action. The film successfully adapts a popular novel and delivers strong performances, especially from its lead actresses. While it may not be for everyone, it's a good choice for viewers who enjoy suspenseful stories with twists and emotional depth. I would recommend this movie to fans of psychological thrillers and viewers who like stories that keep them guessing. It's a film that encourages the audience to pay attention to details and question what they see. In conclusion, The Housemaid is a solid and engaging film that leaves a lasting impression. I would give this film a rating of 5 out of 5. That's going to wrap up my presentation on The Housemaid. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate you sticking around to the end. If you enjoyed this breakdown or found it helpful, feel free to leave a like. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next one.